What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to Bless Every Day, where we are learning some game on the music industry together. You know what I'm saying? So we come here, I would call it vent a little bit about what we are learning, feeling about what we're learning, and just like things we're finding out. You know what I'm saying? Because this industry is a tricky maze, and I've found information out through watching people like this. So if I can help you learn some things through my experience, then it's lit. You feel me? We're independent, you know what I'm saying? So I make the beats, but I'm also doing the accounting as well. You know what I'm saying? It's like we gotta keep up on our finances, make sure we're staying within budget for everything, just like on some like everyday life, but also like on some business stuff. Because my old GM, he always used to say, how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you are? You know what I'm saying? So may that be with your budget. If you're trying to save up a certain amount, or if you're trying to stay within a certain amount, like you got to keep track. You feel me? If you're trying to bust out these beats and get them out to people, you got to know where you're at. You got to keep track of who you're talking to, what beats you sent out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think how much I can emphasize this when me and the homies say that it's like it's so much deeper than just music. It's so much deeper than rap. You feel me? And like we're real people. Like, we're trying to grow and like live off of this. You feel me? And so it's like it does take a village to be able to do something like this. So it's like when you see the artists that you admire and you listen to and all this, and it's like they've worked very hard to get to that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and this is what we're doing. We're working extremely hard to be able to live off of our music, live off of our beats, and live off of our creations. You know what I'm saying? So that's all we're striving for here. And again, we're all here learning together. If y'all can learn with me, I've learned from people watching on YouTube like y'all are watching me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've definitely picked up some game. If y'all can pick up game here, you know what I'm saying, then it's lit. You know? What's poppin', y'all? It's Wednesday. About to start cooking up. We got pretty much the rest of the day just to do that, which I'm really looking forward to. And I kind of came to a conclusion of what burden I've been feeling, and it's like my shit doesn't sound like the industry and doesn't sound like what you hear on the radio. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that in a way causes the insecurity, but it's like, yo, my shit's still in the making, still figuring out the sound, but also like our creations come from us like as human beings, and like I don't look like anyone else, I don't sound like anyone else, so why should my creations be like that too? You get what I'm saying? And so it's like kind of realizing that has helped like literally the last day. And so I'm about to just cook up and get to it. You feel me? Yesterday was one of my first days just trying a new method. I recorded the audio of myself playing piano, and then just found a loop that I liked from there. I've never done that. I've always just like I always like press record and try to get some things in like an 8-bar loop, and sometimes I don't like that and I'm always pressing record and I just let it run. You feel me? And I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm fucking with it. You feel me? Things I've been thinking about today were just like I had to build the self-confidence to make the jump to even start making beats, because it's like the idea of making beats is cool, and then once you get to it, it's like, yo, like this is hard, like this is difficult, you know, like learning softwares, learning about like everything, you know what I'm saying? So you got to put all the pieces together, and so in a way you got to be a hustler to do this. You know what I mean? You got to have initiative. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you can't just expect things to come to you. You got to get up and get it. But that's just life too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come from a sales background. I used to sell cars. I used to sell shoes. I used to sell clothes. Working at the mall and then working at dealerships. And you gotta go and get it, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're commission, you feel me? And I mean, that's how we are now. And I've always looked at commission, instead of using the word commission, I always called it performance based. So like, how well do you want to perform? Because based on how well you perform, that's what you're gonna get compensated. The more I dive deep, the more I'm seeing that it's doable, because one, regular people are doing it. Two, I'm two handshakes away, one handshake away from a person that is literally doing it, you know what I mean? And it's super inspiring because it's like, yo, like, I know a person that knows a person that's like making music for someone on TV, like, and I emphasize on sync so much because here is like, all right, this is like my ultimate game plan, and this is like in a perfect world, right? All right, I had to go ask my girl about who the artist was that I was thinking of. Perfect example, ready? So Lizzo, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but this is the story that I believe I read or heard, I saw on YouTube, and it was that she got a sync placement. That sync placement happened to be on some big TV show at the time, and that her song was on the show. That song was Shazammed X amount of times, and just the numbers went up, you know what I mean? That show was free marketing to her as an artist, you know what I mean? Like, and she might have had to pay some lawyer fees or whatever for contracting and whatnot, but that is nowhere in comparison to an artist paying tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to get their signs, to get billboards, their signs up at the New York City, and to get marketing throughout pretty much just the US and like the typical rollout that you see being done. Let me repeat that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you pitch your song to a music library, you get it onto a show, that show's a hit, and the whole nation is watching it, and they're like, what song is this? And so that's why I emphasize so much on sync, because that is like the perfect rollout and the perfect game plan to try to reach the mass audience. That's why I felt like I had to pivot the whole way, that my whole way of playing. But it's like, nah, fool, again, just make dope shit. When it hits, be ready for when, if there is a sample, be ready to be like, yo, we'll rework it, or like, we'll talk about what we need to talk about when the situation arises, you know what I'm saying? But it's like figuring out all of the pieces to the puzzle, or at least as much to the puzzle, for when the time comes where we got some knowledge, and we can have a knowledgeable conversation with whoever's trying to approach us for, whether it be a song, whether it be an album, whether it be an opportunity, whether it be a brand placement, or whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're figuring it out, and that's what this series is about, is figuring all of this stuff out, and then keeping our nose to the ground and working, and nothing stopping, you feel me? And again, life be lifing sometimes, but we gotta understand that it's not about what's happening, it's about how you react to what's happening, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, the roof could be on fire, and it's like, I could be freaking out just running around the house, just, oh, the roof's on fire, or I could be like, oh dang, the roof's on fire, let's take action and get out of here safely. The saturation of car salespeople in Michigan compared to music producers in LA, very comparable. Obviously there's way more people in Los Angeles than there is in Michigan, but like, you get the idea, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, I had to stand out from the crowd. Being young was one thing, and like just being a hustler at a young age, I think helped me, you know what I mean? And so now, being in the music industry, I have that business and sales mindset, and I understand it very well. And sometimes it's hard to differentiate and balance the creative and the business side, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, we don't have any major placements yet, but learning about the business has helped us set up a pillar under Blessed Entertainment that can help us push our own music and our own projects when we drop stuff. Learning about the industry, learning about different parts of it, and if you can't, or if you aren't eating off of this right now, like, get some side dishes going, you know what I'm saying? If the main course ain't ready yet, like, get some side dishes going, you feel me? And so I didn't grow up in a house. We grew up in apartments, and I grew up with my grandma, and we were always in apartments, and I've always wanted to buy her house. And having to learn about financial literacy, having to go through selling cars, having to go through selling cars, not saving any of that money, realizing like, oh shit, I should have saved, and which wakes me up and it's like, yo, financial literacy, learn about saving, learn about this. And again, I'm stepping stone at a time, rolling with the punches. But again, learning the lesson is very important, and grasping the information that you're going through is very important. Not just going through the everyday. Like, really realize, like, yo, I'm going through this. What am I learning from this? Let's take this knowledge and add on top of it so we can get further in life. You know what I mean? Whether it be